It's 6 a.m. on a Thursday, and the phone
Can you hold a second? Thanks.
keeps ringing
This is Rhonda.
and ringing.
Hello. Can you hold 1 second? Kevin, what can I help you with?
For Rhonda Iddings, it's a typical morning. On any given day, out of around 1,200 teachers and EAs in the district, 150 of them won't be able to be in their classrooms. Meetings, conferences, trainings, illnesses, sick kids, and emergencies mean coordinating substitutes from 6 a.m.
I did get one in for Roosevelt, if you wanted to do.
throughout the entire day.
This is Rhonda. We have, I would say, probably about 500 on the sub pool. But because there's people that can only work certain days of the week, we have a active sub about 250. And that's what we pull from daily.
And everything that entails.
Behind the scenes stuff for people, I do like address changes, and I do name changes, and I do email updates, and anything that comes in that's part of the HR process. Dealing with the payroll side, anything dealing with subs, I do all of that information, but I do also a lot of the update information. I do like the budget code information when it comes in, so we make sure I have right budget codes. That's part of my process that people don't realize, that comes through this office and through this desk. And then it gets to payroll, and then I work with payroll for processing the subs pay. And it's just a process of behind the scenes stuff that people go, oh, it's no big deal, it just happens. Well, it does happen, but
So when Rhonda's not on the phone,
anytime there's a change from building to building on employees on the computer, when they come in and they move, I have to move them on the system so that what they call in their absence, they're in the right building with the right classification, the right job that they're doing. It's an ongoing thing throughout the day whenever I have time to be able to pull that information, or if a building calls me and says, oh, by the way, did you know so-and-so moved buildings? That's the type of stuff that I do day by day, all day long. So
she's got this kind of paperwork to do.
the sub-pay report from this last month, from October 31st. This is the type of stuff that we go through. The jobs we monitor, make sure the budget codes are right.
Later, she'll be training new substitutes.
I do typically 1 or 2 for sure a month, and they last from 9 to 12, and they entail doing all the policies of the district. And then I do all the training of the SEM system, walk them through how that part of it works, and then I train them on how to find their paychecks and HR pay information and everything that pertains to being a substitute. And then they have an opportunity to be able to ask questions and kind of give feedback or what they're looking for and kind of what they want out of a substitute. So you get some pretty good answers from them sometimes. And a lot of times they're people that they have education backgrounds, so they're looking to get into the district, so it's kind of their stepping stone. And a lot of them end up getting hired, which is great. Then my sub pool goes down again. And that's why I always have sub trainings, because we bring people in, they get hired, and then the pool goes down. So we bring people in, get hired, and it's kind of a circle that keeps going round and round.
Across Sioux Falls at Washington High School, the rush is just beginning.
Okay, so she'll be late.
Nearly 2,000 students have places to go.
Where are you gonna go Friday?
Going hunting.
Oh yeah? Big hunter, huh?
Thank you.
People to see,
I'm gonna go to the Court Orthopedic Institute. I'm gonna job shadow a surgeon.
Well, good for you.
and places they should have
Hey,
been.
did you have a detention? Yeah. When's that set for? Oh, you did it last night?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Got one more.
Appreciate that. Got one more to do? Then you're done?
Yep.
All right. The morning time's really our most busy time. There's probably, before even the start of the day, there's probably a couple hundred students, I would suppose. Just needing various things between getting IDs, getting passes out. A lot of them come in, get appointments, so we ask them all to come in before school starts and get those. Or, if they just need something too. I mean, sometimes they'll just have an issue or something where they have a question, So there's quite a few students that come in before school. Most of it's real quick things, but it's definitely our most busy time, first thing in the morning. So see you later.
To the west, the Memorial Middle School office is celebrating what they call a slow morning.
Chris Nelson, Stephen Keller, Charles McElroy.
All over Sioux Falls,
Just running behind today?
Yeah.
Okay.
at Central Services,
I'm working on some payroll changes, notifying human resources of that information, and also working on some inventory.
at IPC,
When schools need interpreters, they'll let me know, send me an interpreter request, and then I process that request and submit it to the different agencies that we work with. and then they line up the interpreters, let me know, and then I process a confirmation form that I send out to the schools requesting that interpreter.
At the Elementary Immersion Center,
Okay, well, welcome to Sioux Falls.
things are always in motion. And behind the mountains of paperwork, the thousands of phone calls, the millions of keystrokes every day, are 167 dedicated clerical workers who make it all happen.
I am ordering light bulbs for some of the schools and filters that they require.
Let's see, which fingernail? This one right here? Oh my goodness.
My role with the nurse's office is if our nurse is not here for a day or a certain time, then any kids who come in sick, not feeling good, I kind of hop up and go help them. I distribute meds to any of the kids that take meds here during the day when she's not here, and just kind of generally keep things running smoothly with sick kids.
I'm looking at a Verizon bill that has about 121 iPads on it, and they all have the 3G. But we aren't using the 3G, so I go back into my Verizon account and suspend them so we aren't incurring any additional charges.
Everyone knows that somehow, somewhere, these things always get done. Most people don't realize how or by whom.
Okay, right now I'm entering credits for a student that has transferred to the district from another district outside of the state, and we need to get his credits entered so we know what grade we need to place the student in.
They are as diverse and talented as a tremendous list of duties require, organizing the schedules and classes for a city of students, helping run the video board at every home football game.
These are semester tests, and the alternative sites and the high schools will send us some semester tests to download into the database and to correct.
Fingerprinting employees and volunteers who work with students, scheduling counseling appointments and updating student schedules, fixing copiers and laminators. And did we mention
Washington High School? This is Brenda.
Memorial, this is Rebecca.
Good morning, Sioux Falls School District, this is Bert.
The truth is, from the curriculum office to the nurse's office, from community education to early childhood screening, the reason it all works comes down to remarkable people doing remarkable jobs.
Well, it's a little different every day as we get new populations in. What they do when they have a second language is they call me, and the family comes over here to do registration paperwork, and then we go ahead and do a language assessment. And we do that in 4 core areas. We do a speaking and a listening, which is measuring the comprehension and language production piece. And then we also do a reading level for the students and a writing section of the test, just so we can get an overall composite score so we best know where to place the students in our district. I will ask you some questions about this picture, okay? Who is this?
This single father has 3 daughters. New to the United States from Burma by way of a refugee camp in Thailand, he has seen a lot of new faces.
If any of the girls were to get sick at school, is there anyone who could help you by coming to get them and bringing them to your house? Like maybe a neighbor, friends? Do you have any family in Sioux Falls?
Pam's will likely be one he won't forget.
Through my years here, I have met many, many families, and I don't always remember them. I wish I could, but I don't always remember them. As I'm out in the community, oftentimes, I wouldn't even recognize them, and I feel bad about that, but I wouldn't even recognize them. Like, for instance, the other day I was at Hy-Vee, and this lady was in the parking lot, and I didn't recognize her, and she just came flying across the parking lot, and she remembered my name, Mrs. Meyer, Mrs. Meyer, and she came up and gave me a great big hug. But they don't forget someone who's welcomed them. They just don't forget someone who showed them kindness, in a land where they probably had nobody right at first when they arrived. So that's kind of the payoff. That's so rewarding. But that's what keeps me here.
You see, aside from everything else they do, our clerical workers are often the first voice and the first face that people new to a school or the district hear or see.
Hi.
Orientation at 8:30.
With
Civic.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to send you around to the right, follow the curve of the wall. That takes you right into Kids Inc. And
So they are, additionally, true masters of public relations.
I've had a crazy morning, but thank you for getting Craig to come in. I appreciate it.
No problem.
With 24,000 students and 3,000 employees depending on the tasks they accomplish every day, it's hard to imagine that anything could get accomplished at all if they weren't here. And they all do it.
I'm really a kind of a numbers person as far as I like to enter all that stuff into the computer and then see the results pop up. And then creating those semester tests are fun. You know, going from nothing to, you know, getting it to a point where that kids can actually take these tests online. It's neat.
Because they love it.
Hi, can you please send Taba down to the office for the end of the day? She has an appointment. Thank you. Bye. She'll be on her way. Can you sign her out on the yellow sheet, please? Sure. Thank you.
So the next time you wonder how 500 fourth grade science books get from a publisher into the hands of students, or how a student gets placed in the right immersion classroom, if you wonder who's behind the handling of millions of taxpayer dollars, or who's making sure your student shows up to school on time each day, the next time you wonder who's on the other end of the phone first thing in the morning,
Hello.
or who's handing out hugs at the end of the day, wonder no more.
Good night.
Just wonder what we'd do without them.